What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mac Effect. Your host here, Mike, like always, thanking you guys, appreciating all the love and support you guys continue to do. I'm an open book, and I've always said when you guys show love and support, you guys are healing an inner child in me, and I just thank you guys for that. I want to just quickly just share with you guys that, you can see the growth of me since episode 1 till now, and it's something that I value. I thank God, but I thank you guys also for being a part of that. So I just want to quickly say that to you guys. With that said, guys, another great interview that I want to have for you guys. It's a blast from the past, but it's something that I know God is doing because there's stories, guys. There's healing taking place. I know you guys are feeling it. I know you guys are connecting, and it's like, this is why it's important to understand that we were not made to do life by ourselves. We were made to do life in a community, because in a community, not only do we understand one another, but there's mercy and grace. I'm tired of living separate and always judging family members and why did they do this and why did they do that, when the reality is healing needs to take place so that we can love each other and understand it's like, you know what? They're just broken the same way I am, and that's the reason why. So it's all about love. With all that said, I want to welcome you guys, a very close friend of mine, sister to someone that I interviewed in the past as well, because now she's going to share her perspective y echarle dirt a su hermana. Nah, I'm just kidding. But it's with a lot of love and a lot of excitement that I know we're going to have a good story for you guys. Miss Rebecca.
Hello.
Hey, Rebecca. Thanks for coming on the Mac Effect. I really appreciate you being here. Rebecca, we've known each other for how long?
I think like 20 years, since I was 12. I'm 30 now.
12 years.
So 18
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. 20 years. Yeah. 2 years,
Let's just round up.
Wow. And obviously in a previous episode that you guys saw with your sister, Jen, she was here, and gave us a lot of good information. We grew up in church. We were in church together. I saw you guys as little girls growing up. You guys saw me, growing up as well, trying to figure things out, not knowing any of the ideas of obviously what was coming towards our way. But we just knew that, there's a reason why God brought us together, and there's a reason why I wanted to bring you on the episode and kind of talk to you. But before we get to the details of like where Rebecca has been and what has happened to Rebecca and the pain and the beautiful moments, I want to know a little bit more about your background. Where did Rebecca grow up? Because the truth is, although we've known each other for 20 plus years, like, I don't know these things, and that sucks. Like, I want to know my friends in a deeper level.
Yeah. So my name is Rebecca. I'm 30 years old. I just turned 30 in February. I'm the baby of my mom, but the middle sibling of my dad. So my dad and my mom separated. I think I was like a year old. I don't have many memories with my dad. I grew up just like seeing him at like family parties that like my uncles would invite us to. So I didn't really grow up with my younger siblings. So growing up, I kind of feel guilty sometimes because I'm just like, I always said like, oh yeah, I have 2 older sisters. Like I was always the baby because that's what I was around. Like I'm my mom's baby. Like I was a baby of the family. I grew up in Southgate, went to school in Montebello. So my mom worked in Pico, so it was a lot easier for her to just drop us off at school, and then one of my tias would like pick us up. So school days were extremely long. Like my mom was always like working 1 or 2 jobs. And yeah, I was just like a chill like kid. I grew up at church. I was in band, like in ASB. So I don't think I was very like
I need that band picture with that hat that you would wear, so I could show it to people.
That's like my it's an embarrassing picture, but it was fun. That was fun. Like we got to go to Disneyland for free, so that was fun. But yeah, like growing up, I was never like a troubled kid. I was like, since I was a baby, like I was super close to my mom, so I was always like, whatever my mom says, like I want to be like the good kid, like not like my older siblings were bad, but I was just like, I just want to be on my mom's good side. so chat a little into like teenage, one like young adult years. I stopped like going to church. Like I was like very, I guess you can say rebellious, like in my what I'm gonna do whatever I want to do type of thing. And then like obviously when I turned 18, I was just like, well, you can't tell me what to do, you know. And I did meet my daughter's dad. I think I was like 23, 24. We got married. We were like, the whole relationship was like 6 or 7 years. And
Espérame. Te me estás adelantando. I like it. I like it that you're giving it. But it's like when you turned 18, there's a lot of things that were going on that I'm going to ask questions because I have no idea, but I know like the little things that I would see or whatever. But you can share with me. When you were 18 and you're like, no one can tell me what to do. Dude, you made a big decision. You left California.
that was when I got with my daughter's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was 23.
You moved to where?
Vegas.
Mm-hmm. How was it? How long were you over there?
We were there for so I'm gonna like put it out there. I want to respect him as a person. I don't want to get like into too much detail of like what like he did or what went on. Just like to respect him, because at the end of the day, like that's my daughter's dad.
Absolutely.
But I will like touch on a few things of like what went on, just to give like perspective of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, and I want to be clear. I don't want to come in here. The podcast is not like to come and bash this particular person or anyone in reality. Yeah, sure. Even in previous episodes, Rebecca, just so that I can show you also vulnerability. Mm-hmm. I always say to the viewers, I'm not going to speak on it because I want to give respect to her. I want to give respect to the family because I care about their hearts. Whether they see it in me or not, it's fine. So I'm showing this vulnerability to you because it's like, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to bash. We're here, if anything, Rebecca, God has led you through a growth. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to get to. Is I want to identify the areas where Rebecca was like, shoot, I reached a low where I was very sad, but I also discovered myself in a way that I never knew I had this strength, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's what eventually we will get to. Yeah. But with that being said, you know, coming back a little bit to like, you know, you being one and your parents splitting, your mom and dad, they were married?
Yeah, they were.
And married. Then they divorced.
Yeah.
And then you pretty much like dad was just not in the picture. Mm-hmm. So it's safe to say, like a lot of us go through, you know, mom issue, daddy issues. Mm-hmm. We're there. Have you discovered certain areas about yourself that you're like, man, I didn't know I had daddy issues?
Yeah. So with like my dad, I don't really see it as like him leaving us. I did grow a lot in that because before I was just like, well, he just doesn't want us. Like, I thought it was like a me thing. Like I thought it was.
Wow.
Well, not that I'm like not good enough because ever since I was like young, like I knew I was like this bubbly person. Like everybody would tell me like, like me and my sister, they would be like, oh, well, your dad's like losing now, like X, Y, and Z. So I always knew like it's not me. Like I'm like I'm not like this troubled child where he's like, oh, my life is better off without you. But I didn't know how deep it went because there was like certain relationships and like even with my daughter's dad that I held onto him so long because I felt like I needed him. Like I needed like that male figure, not like I needed him to be like my dad or anything, but there's just something like psychologically there that it's just like you're gonna it's this family aspect of we need to make this work because it didn't work out previously with like my mom and dad. So there was a lot of parts where like I was very vulnerable and like whatever argument we had or whatever, like I would literally like beg him like, please do not leave me. Like I can't have you leave me because like this needs to work type of thing. Mm.
I could already feel like I'm praying. In my mind, I'm praying. because I feel a lot of pain. I know you're going through a healing. You're in a healing right now. You're not healed, but you're going through a healing. I can sense it. I can hear it in just the way it's fresh for you. There's obviously I'm not a licensed therapist, psychologist, none of that. This is just experiences that I've gotten through with my mentors, counselors, even some terminology that your sister just fed me in the previous episodes. But you're healing. It meant a lot to you that you wanted the relationship to work because there was some stigmatism in you embedded, but I don't know who. Maybe you can share if you know, or if you don't know, it's fine. But it's like you needed it to work because it's like, I'm not going to end up the way other people did. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Like, why was that such a big piece that you're like, dude, I heard you, like you're choking up from it. Why was it so like, this needs to work out?
It wasn't necessarily like anybody specific that said like, well, you're in this, because also I would never express like our arguments. Like I would never like tell anybody. Like the day that I decided to leave him, like everybody was shocked because I put on this like facade, like I'm happy, like it's working out, like, you know, all this stuff, like we live together, we're married, like all this stuff. So it was very hard to like, I felt like I had to prove to people after like no, I wasn't happy. Like I tried so hard and I wasn't perfect either because I had a lot of like baggage going into that relationship. But like I tried to do my part of like, let's make this work and all this stuff. But it was a very like toxic relationship, and I feel like both of us can like agree on that. We're always arguing, like we just weren't compatible. Like at the end of the day, like we just were not compatible. And I going into the marriage, like I'm like low-key embarrassed to admit it, but I will admit it. Like I thought my timeline was like coming to an end. Like all my friends around me were like getting married. They were like, you know, happy. They were having kids, like all this stuff. And I was always the single one of the group. Like I would make a joke about it, like, oh, I'm fifth wheeling today. Like it was always like you guys, like Yari and Luis, like everybody just like with their couple, and it was just me. So then I'm not gonna discredit that I like truly loved him, but I found this guy that was like, okay, well, like move in, or you know, like let's get married, like I'm ready to have a kid with you. Like, so I was like, oh my god, like, you know, like
you were hearing the words that you're like, dude,
the words that I wanted.
I was longing for this.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna build a family with this guy, you know. So we were like married. Well, we're still legally married right now, but we're going through the divorce process, and together we were married 4 years. So it was a long 4 years, and like the last year, not that I was like fully unhappy, but I was already like, how am I like gonna get out of this? Like I know like this is not for me, but it was just more of like, I don't want to feel like a failure. Like I legit came into this marriage of like, this is it. Like you know, like obviously you celebrate with like a bunch of people, and like, you know, like you do the post of like, oh, like happy 3 year, happy 4 years. So it was like this stigma of like, what are people gonna think type of thing, or like oh, so what happened? But then I came into the realization that like it truly doesn't matter what other people think. It matters like how you feel. And I will come like the time that the day that I did realize like it's time for me to leave was like we're arguing, like it was like a dumb argument, super silly, super silly. And we were home, and like we were like screaming at each other, like and Ali stood between us and like told us like, stop fighting. And then I looked at her and I was like, it is not her job to tell us not to fight. It is not like, it was never in the cards for me to have like this family and have my daughter like I never wanted to create like childhood trauma for her. Like obviously that's not something that we want for our kids, but that was something that I did want to avoid.
Yeah.
And I thought like having like like you're coming home to mom and dad, like that was gonna be the fixture of like not having childhood trauma. So once like that happened, I like that was on a Sunday, and then we didn't touch the subject again until that Thursday. And like that's when I told him, and like conversations like went on, and like certain things like were said, and I was like, no, like this is not gonna be my life. And that was the last day that I slept in that house, because I was just like, no, like I need to do this for me and for Ali. And the biggest reason why like I stood was because I was like, Ali needs this home. Ali needs this like family. And then I'm just like, no, like Ali needs like to see that mom like can be happy too. Like she like it's just, and then being in a like a toxic like home, like I just felt I wasn't like the best mom for Ali either. So it's just like that healing came like for me and for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. And this is fresh because you're still going through it.
Yeah, actually this week would be a year since I left him.
Wow.
So it was the ending of March.
And the divorce hasn't finalized.
No.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what's taking so long?
I filed in July. Well, I tried to do the process in June, and then it's crazy because you don't realize how much like work and like money, like it's also, I didn't qualify for like the waiver, so I had to like gather like money for that because I didn't have money saved for that.
Wow.
And then I filed in July, served him early August. He didn't file his paperwork until like October, and it's been like with the holidays and all that stuff, like I have to like legit like take a day off to like go into, it's a process, and it sucks that like people have to go through it, but when it's just certain things, it's like it just has to get done, like things just have to get done. But
yeah, it's tough. I'm hearing you. It's challenging. I didn't know it was this fresh for you still. I thought, because I knew that you were separated a while ago, right? So a part of me was like, okay, she's gone through some of the healing, but quite frankly, we kind of find ourselves in a very similar place, you and I, where pain is still there, where healing is still taking place, discovery. You have to find who you are, and I know you're trying to find who you are, which is good. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry you're going through this. I know maybe it didn't go the way you thought it was going to go, but it doesn't mean that you have to be an absent mom. You still become present. You still show up for her. You still show up for yourself. What have you been learning through this process about Rebecca?
I have learned that I like rely on people a lot. Like I thought I was like super independent. But what's that word? I was like legit scared of like being alone. Like which
is it codependency?
Yeah, there you go. Which is super crazy because like I was single for so long. But or I don't know, maybe I was like super codependent on him because he was like the first guy I ever like got serious with.
Yeah, you married him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or like even living with him, like first guy like that my friends met. I don't think you've ever like even met any other guy that I like dated for short term.
That I'm aware of, no.
Yeah,
No.
so it's just it was the codependency part, like and then even after I left him, like I was like, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like always being out. Like I was looking for like a distraction. And then when I moved out, like on my own, like just me and Allie, I was like, okay, this feels weird. Like it feels weird being alone, but I enjoy it. Like I enjoy being alone. I enjoy being home. Like this is like my new like safe space type of thing, you know?
I know there's a lot of viewers, listeners watching. They're going through a separation and a divorce. I say it because I get the messages, Rebecca. My mentor, my counselors, they're licensed therapists. They have the professional educational background, the masters, the theology. I don't know all the terminology. Like I said, I'm not very book savvy the way they are, but they have all that. They told me that in the past 3 years that they have never seen an uprise in marriage counseling and marriage divorces like ever before in the time that we're living in right now, which is sad because it's showing me that I believe, this is my belief. I think a year ago, 2 years ago, the enemy was attacking our children. But parents woke up and were like, no, we're going to protect our children. We don't want them to see certain things that are happening at school. We're petitioning this, we're petitioning that. We stood up and we put our voices up. So I think the enemy shifted from going after the children. Now he's going after marriages. Because once marriages are broken, who becomes vulnerable again? The children become vulnerable again. So it's sad. And you're like, why? Like, why are people doing this? And there's good reasons and there's good causes. There's times that it's, it's needed. And I'm not the judge to say you should go through a divorce. You shouldn't go through a divorce. I'm not judging anyone whether they should be married, not be married, fight for their marriage, not fight for their marriage. I'm more of let's pray and see what God wants to do. How are you feeling with your relationship with the Lord, going through what you're going through? How does the Lord help you in the place that you're in right now?
It was hard because I felt very like guilty because I did stop going to church. He never like forced me or said like you can't go, like type of thing, but it was more of like, well, he doesn't like church or like he doesn't want to go, so I'm just like not gonna go, or I'm just gonna spend like my Sunday with him. So that was for sure like my choice, which I felt like guilty sometimes, like hey God,
like
I
you
know I
knew
left
you knew
but
something was hit, like tugging at you.
yeah. So but when I decided to leave him, it wasn't I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't like, okay, like I know that this isn't from God. It was more of like I deserve more. I need to respect myself to know like when it's time to walk away.
Yeah. That's a tough decision, Rebecca. I think a lot of people, I shared with your sister, I think people lack love. But when you start finding love for yourself, it's not that you think you're better than other people, but you do start saying, I don't deserve this mistreatment. Like, I deserve love back the same way I want to pour in. But you also start discovering things of you that are broken. And I think this is the process where God has you right now, where God wants you to be alone, to figure things out, like what hurts, what healings need to take place, what forgivenesses need to take place, because it's not easy. It's not easy what you are going through. Yeah. You still have to continue going to work. You still have to continue providing for your daughter. You still need to continue being a sister for, your family, a daughter for your mom and nephews and nieces that you have. How do you keep going in days that you're like, fuck, man, I really want to just stay in my bed and just do nothing?
I feel like I'm like such an emotional person. Like I'm very emotional, but I don't let it like get to me. Like I go through the motions of it, but I'm kind of just like, I need to keep going. Like, I don't know if maybe it would be different if I didn't have my daughter, but I'm kind of just like, I tend to go through my emotions when I'm like by myself. That way I don't want her to see me crying. Like I understand that's like vulnerability of it, but I feel like she's still too young that I'm kind of just like, I don't want her to, I don't know, feel like it's like because of her or like have that memory of like me crying or anything like that. The work part, I'm so like, I am beyond blessed, like to have the work environment that I have. Like I can, like my coworkers are so like sweet. Like they can see when I'm like, I still go to work, but there's some days where I'm just like quiet, and like they'll send me a message like, hey, are you okay today? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just in my head. Like I got into an argument with so and so, or like I'm just trying to like figure things out, or like today was just stressful with Ali like in the morning. So I'm kind of just like, I have to show up because like my daughter's depending on me, like I'm depending on me, like any like take out anybody out of that equation, like I need to make sure that I'm like healthy, I'm like keeping myself alive, like I'm getting up, like I look good, because at the end of the day, like you need to look good for yourself. Like it's not like, oh, I don't have like I'm single, I don't have anybody to look good for. Like no, you need to look good for yourself.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
So it's just like you I feel like you need to do it like for yourself. And like I do it for myself, and I do it for like Ali too. Like I like the days keep going, like yes, like go through the emotions, like crying your car on the way to work, like I've done that multiple times, and it's just like, that's why I do my makeup in the car. Like I'll do it like in the parking lot, because there's times where I'm just like, it's just so emotional. And it's just like, but I need to go to work. Like
Yeah.
I literally have to pay the rent. So
Yeah. No, and I ask those questions because I'm telling you, people are going through it. I get the messages constantly, Rebecca. So you're going through a very difficult situation. And in the middle of that process, I don't know if you can share right now, are you guys doing like 50-50 custody, or what are you doing with your baby?
yeah. So at first it was so hard, because it was just like I had her majority of the time. I was like 80-20. And because he was like working, like his hours during the week were just like crazy. And then like gradually like it became like 60-40. And then now it's like a year in, and it's 50-50. So we each do, he gets her Monday, Wednesday, and then I get her Tuesday, Thursday, and then like
Alternative weekends.
Yeah, weekends. So that helps a lot, because at first I was like, I was kind of trying to like find a balance between like, okay, like I'm being a single mom, but I also want like time for myself, like because I was going through this process of like, is this for me? Is it not for me? Like, what do I do? Like, it was so hard. Like, there were so many questions in my head. So I'm kind of just like, you just need like time alone sometimes. So at first that was really, really difficult. And I low-key like felt super selfish, because I'm just like, I want time for myself. Like at first I felt guilty. And then it wasn't till one of my really good friends, she's 50-50 with her baby daddy.
Yeah.
Such a weird word to say, my baby daddy. Yeah, she's 50-50 with her baby daddy.
All new terminology, trust me.
And then she's like, it's okay. Like, it's okay that you want time for yourself. It's okay for you to like, like this is like brand new, and you have to figure yourself out. You have to like just see what's for you. And then, so then like gradually, like, because before it was like his weekend, and I would be like, I miss her. Like, can I have her? Like, or I would go to family parties, and then I'm just like, I feel so weird not having her here.
Yeah.
So I'm just, sometimes I wouldn't even show up to certain parties, because I was just like, well, it's a kid's party, like, and I don't have my child, which was weird, because like before, like I would show up to your like kids parties like without a kid, and I'm like, it wouldn't feel weird, but I'm like, my little sidekick is missing, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to share a little bit on this one. You know, I feel like sometimes people think like when it comes to men, it's like a divorce. It's like, boom, it's easier for men because men, it's just like they don't really care about the kids, and the person that stays with the kids, it's the mom stays with the, like the stigmatism is a divorce is happening, the mom stays with the house with the kids, the dad leaves, and like he figures he figures everything out on his own. And I'm like, that's just for men that are not involved in their children's life, that happens, yes. But for men that are involved, like I also feel very guilty when I don't have them. I've gone into their rooms when I haven't had them, and people don't know. Like I'm in that room and I'm crying, you know, like I'm smelling their pillows, missing them, and people don't understand. Like, but it comes in the healing process where at some point too, you know, you have to deal with it. And you have to understand that it's going to be a weekend with them. And not that you get used to it in the sense that you don't miss them anymore. You do miss them. But like, I share this with you because without you telling me, like, I'm still getting the feeling of that Rebecca that wants to show strength. But I know that there's been days where you're in your apartment and you're like, it's very quiet. And I know there's a part of you that it's a natural instinct. You're mom. You're in your apartment, whether you're, you know, whatever, you're by yourself, and you're like, she would have been here. Like she could be here right now. And I feel that pain. Yeah. I know.
Sometimes I watch kids movies without her because I'm just like, you know, you miss them. And and it's
you just hit it because my kids love this show called Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, Rebecca, because I do watch it and I'm just like, I'm by myself. Like I could literally be going out doing something else, but it's like I'm not gonna change who I am. That's who I am, and that's crazy that you say that.
Yeah.
What movie?
Just any kids movies. She likes Home.
Okay. That the one with Rihanna, the little thing changes colors and all that.
I love that little animal thing. He talks so funny.
Well, that's the voice of Sheldon, which is pretty funny. Aww. So that's pretty hilarious. So okay, and what have you done to cope with that?
It's a constant reminder of like, I think it's crazy. I just had like an epiphany. It's also like the codependency, like not.
You have a sister that's a therapist.
Yeah,
huh?
I know. Yeah. And it's crazy because I don't talk to my sister about these things. Like, but it
having the resource,
I know
conflict of interest, maybe. I don't know.
No.
I'm the better sister, not you. Like,
no, I'm that type of person where I don't want to inconvenience people, and like I know I 100% know that if I call her, like she's gonna have the time, or she's gonna make the time, or she'll pencil me into her schedule. But it's more of like I don't talk to her about these things because I'm just like, well, she not deals with it, but like it's literally her job. Like me that I'm in accounting, I'm just like, don't talk to me about numbers. Like on Saturday and Sunday, like I don't want to talk about it. I'm pretty sure like it's just your job, so you don't want it as like you want a break from it, you know. So
so good.
That's so I don't like talk to her about these things, and then I'm also like with certain friends, like I don't like to like inconvenience, and like people have told me like you're not an inconvenience, like it.
That's where the lack of self-love is.
Yeah, and then it's just like it's crazy because like I'm always telling people like you can talk to me about anything. Like I never have my phone on do not disturb. Like I would never I always have my phone on ringer because I'm just like I feel like one day one of my friends is gonna call me and be like, hey, I need you for this. And like it's just so crazy that when I go through it, like I'm just kind of just like, oh, like let's put the brakes. Like I don't want to talk about it. So when you asked me, I was like, I'm shy because like I don't talk about it, you know. Like it's, but I feel like it truly needs to be talked about because I did share like here and there, like with some people, or like on my story. Like I was not like on like personally like my story, but I would like talk about like, oh, like you need to like love yourself, like all this stuff. And then people have reached out. Like it's just, I mean, I'm sure you know that like once you talk about certain things, like, and then I'm kind of just like, whoa, like I'm not alone. And like going through it, those like 6 years while I was like with him, like I thought I was alone. Like I thought I was the only one like going through certain things. Like
Wow.
I
Same.
thought like me talking about certain things, like I was gonna like look dumb to people, or
Yep.
like, you know, like we're always arguing and like I'm still here. Like, you know, like I didn't talk about it because I mean I wasn't like ready to leave. Like I knew I was gonna talk about it, but I was still gonna stay in the same position. And it's like I've learned now that it's okay, because maybe don't like post it on your story like, oh, this and that, but you know, like I'm sure everybody has like 2 3 friends like that they can like go to and say like, hey, like I literally just want to talk about it. And when people talk to me about stuff, like I ask them, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give you feedback?
That's
Because
good.
sometimes like we just need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I don't want to hear that I'm wrong, because I know I'm wrong, but I just want to talk about it, you know? Like, and it's good because when you talk about things, then like us as humans, we realize like we're constantly realizing like, you know what, like I don't deserve this, or you know what, I was the one that was being rude in this conversation, or when while we were having the conversation, like I was defensive because I thought he was being rude. So that's why I feel like talking about stuff is really important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And going back to, trying learn to love yourself. It's so easy to want to do for others and for others and for others. Dude, it's okay to receive sometimes. And I'm guilty of it. It's hard for me. Even till today, like there's certain things that I'm like, no, like I'm done. Like I'm not going to take their help anymore. And it's like, but if you need it, why not?
Yeah.
Like you need to.
Yeah.
And if God has given you your sister that can be of a resource for you, and it doesn't have to necessarily just be her, but definitely go to someone that can help you figure out your emotions, your feelings, everything you're going through, because this is a time where Rebecca is going to discover how to not only love herself, but truly love herself. Not just to cover it up, because we live in a world where we do just try to act like everything's fine. And you could be single for a year or more and then get into another relationship and then fall right back into the same thing that you were doing before. And you don't want to do that. At least I don't want to do that, which is why I'm like, no, I want emotional intelligence. I want to figure out what's wrong. I want to know why this causes this reaction, why this causes that reaction, because I'm not going to repeat this. I'm not. And with you, I'm hearing you and I'm like, okay, I hear it there. I'm interceding a lot, Rebecca, because again, I didn't know, but knowing it breaks my heart. I get mad at the devil because of him breaking so many relationships. You say, we're not compatible. And I say to that, maybe you're right. I'm not someone to change any perspective. But for me, it's just brokenness. We're broken. And if we weren't broken, maybe there was something that attracted. So it's not that you guys are not compatible. It's just because we're broken. We say things, which, it's just tough. It's a tough situation. I'm not saying, reconciliation, and I'm not saying keep going. All I'm saying is keep finding you, because when you find you, you're really going to better the situations around you. Even the way you co-parent with that person is going to be different and stuff. So, how is co-parenting? How is it working out for you?
It's a lot better now. It's it's really tough because for a while I was just like on like defense, like but I think that has to also like tie with the relationship that we had. Like it was just a lot of like things said to each other. So when we would even like talk about Ali, like it was just like, well, you're doing this out of spite type of thing, you know? So that was hard at first, but now it's a lot better. I did have like a conversation with him, and I was like, we did not work out. That does not mean that we cannot co-parent for Allie. Like, it's it's just, that's just what it is. Like, it's not her issue that we didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not her fault. And we shouldn't like continue this like constant like
Bickering.
yeah, like fighting with each other, because it's just like now it's like not even about us anymore. It's like about her.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, like, it's just what's best for Allie.
Be grown-ups. Learn to separate yourself from her. Like, don't, and it's tough. It's challenging. I've been there. I mean, I was the product of like literally when my parents split up or divorced, and I would go to my dad's. As soon as I was getting ready to leave, my mom would be like, so then that as a child would make me feel so uncomfortable going to my dad's, because I'm like, damn, man, like my mom hates me for going to my dad's, but I want to go to my dad's.
Yeah.
And then when I would be dropped off by my dad would be like, "Y dile a esa bomba de su rebote." So then I'm leaving my dad. I'm like, dude, now you're making me feel bad for coming to my mom. And it put me in a place where it's like, it started making me like, I got to please them, make them happy. And I shouldn't have been in the middle. So why do you think I'm trying my best to not make sure the kids are not in the middle? Yeah. You know, you guys don't try your best to not put her in the middle. But it's normal too, because we have emotions, and our emotions say, oh, hell nah. Oh, heck no. And I get it, but we really have to heal and get rid of that, oh, hell no, because it's like, no, oh, hell yes, she matters. They matter, and they need stability and stuff. So, okay. Besides all that pain and all that hurt and that situation that you're in, what beauty has God shown you also?
For sure that it's super, super important to choose yourself. And like choosing yourself is not selfish at all, because there's just like in a lot of like different aspects, like it's really important to know your self-worth. Relationship, friendships, work. Like if you're at work and somebody's like cussing you out or like being rude, like you're not gonna take that. So like, why would you take it in a relationship? Like, because you love that person, or like, but then that's where the like underlying is like you love that person, but they're not supposed to treat you that way, you know? So for sure, like choose
So
yourself.
good.
And then that also entitles with like, I started working out again. Like once I left him, and it wasn't like out of spite. It was just like I was for so long like just comfortable. Like I was comfortable with like, well, and then all like I was comfortable with just like being like content, or like, you know, like I wouldn't like dress up, or you know, like so it was for me, and also for Allie. Like I was like, I'm super lazy right now. Like, no, I'm gonna go work out to build my stamina, like so I can take Allie to the park, and I won't be like, okay, like I'm done with one slide, you know. So it was like but mainly it was like choose yourself and like know your boundaries.
And I've seen on your posts, you know, the friendships that you're hanging out with, you know, you're enjoying life. You're going out, you're having fun, you know, I don't know. I just see pictures. I don't know exactly what happens,
My life is great.
you know, but it's
so much fun.
It's good to see that beauty and say, you know what, it's okay for me to do this.
Yeah. That has like, some people have like told me, that I shouldn't, all that stuff. Some are older, some are like, you know, like my age group. But I'm kind of just like, okay, like that's fine, that's your opinion. But people don't see that I was acting like a 30-year-old when I was like in my 20s, you know? Like I'm sure people have seen like posts of that, like, oh, like mind your business if, you know, I'm acting 20 in my 30s. But that's so real, because it's just like, I was a whole ass, well, can I say that?
Yeah.
I was a whole ass wife, like, when I was 25, like, you know? So, I was, you know, like, always home. Like I wasn't going, Like I didn't have like girl time where like, oh, let's go to the clubs. All like my girl time was like dinner with like, you know, my friends, and then I would be home by 10. Like that because I was very respectful of like the relationship I was in. So now it's like I'm respectful of myself. Like I don't go all crazy and stuff, but like I'm enjoying life. Like, and that is okay. That's okay to enjoy
Absolutely.
life, because it's just like I'm a mom when I have Allie, and like when I don't have Allie, like I know I'm still a mom. Like I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do something crazy. Like I would
Yeah.
never go on a motorcycle again, because I'm just like I'm putting my life at risk. But I'm still gonna like enjoy life, like go out and enjoy life.
That's good. That's good. I'm trying to learn that second part, to
Yeah.
be quite honest, but that's very, very good.
And I feel like guilt gets in the way of
It
that,
does.
because it's like it's okay to be your own person, a part of being a dad.
I was going to ask you right now, which you hit the question. I'm like, when you first started going out, how was it? Like, was it uncomfortable for you or no?
It was weird. It was very weird. I felt like guilty. I felt like it was just not my usual. But thankfully, this past year, I actually met like a lot of friends that they're literally like my people. I'm like, oh, like I could be here and I could get a text like, hey, let's go eat, and I'll be like, okay, I'm down. You know, like it's just like simple things like that that are just like, it's okay to be that person that it's just like, I'm down for anything, or you know what, I just want to stay in, or you know what, like it's Sunday, I'm not gonna go out, like all that stuff, or like if you want to go crazy, like go crazy, you know. I had to learn that balance.
Did, we've been speaking for quite some time, so I know at some point I want to wrap it up, but it's just there's a lot of healing, dude. Like I know there's a lot of healing that you're still going through and I'm going through, and man, it's crazy, that we're here. And I don't want to end it just like in a sour note. So I know I'm going to do a follow-up after this, but um during this whole thing that you're going through, I mean, it happened to me. Did you feel like a failure?
Yeah. That's tough, because that's what I was like. I was basically like, I signed up for this. Like I put myself like in this position. Nobody twisted my arm. Like you have to marry him. Like I 100% made that choice myself, which I mean, as it should be 100% your choice. But as the years went on, and I'm just like, I know like this is not the life I want to live. And I love my mom to death, but like when I had told her, it was so hard, because I was just like I said earlier, like nobody knew what I was going through. So when I told her, she was like, well, you guys are married, you have to work it out, like one way or another, you're gonna have to work it out. And I was like, I understand that, but you don't know how long I've like been working it out. So it was kind of like that constant, and then like having this like family of like, I'm the one walking away, like I'm the one saying like I can't do this anymore. So it was just like I felt like I was like legit giving up.
Oh man,
But then I had to like tell myself like, you're not giving up, like you've tried, like you've done this for so long, like you've been like you've done like the necessary steps to like see if this is for you, and it's just not. So like I like I had to like talk to myself like, you're not giving up, you're not a failure, you're not in this like I had to remind myself that it's not the failure part, and it's more of like I'm succeeding because I'm walking away from myself.
I'm telling you, people aren't hearing this, Rebecca. And there's women, there's even men out there that are listening to that and saying, it's just brave of you to share, because people will listen and people will say, wow, so it doesn't make me a bad person that I did, that I filed, that I did this. Because I can understand how it's like, that was a difficult decision for you. You were like, dude, what I like, something broke in you that it was like, I fought for this so damn hard. Like, I wanted to make sure it doesn't lead here, yet I'm the one doing this as well. Like, it has to be a difficult decision, but God knows why at the end. And I'm glad you're going through a healing where you understand that the failure, whether if it's a failure, not a failure, the most important thing is heal, Rebecca, heal.
Yeah.
Heal for you, heal for your daughter, heal for him, pray for him, and don't hold that stuff inside, because I shared in a previous episode, I blessed because I just didn't want any of that bitterness in my heart, because it can quickly eat you up, and just, you're the one paying for something that you shouldn't even be paying for, and why should you drink poison if all you're really genuinely trying to do is find love, pure love for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones,
Yeah. I do want to add that it was very like fearful. Like, I know a lot of people have told me like, oh, you, like, I'm so proud of you and all that stuff. And like, thank you. But got to a point where I was like I sat back and I was like, I'm so proud of myself, because a year ago, like, there was, like, when I was like already thinking about it and like setting my mind to it, I was like, so many thoughts like came through my head, like,
share them, because people need to hear.
yeah. So it was a lot of thoughts of like, I fear like finances, like the world we live in is so expensive, so expensive. And yeah, and then the fear of like not seeing Ali every day. Like, I enjoy my time alone, but at the same time, like, it's just like, obviously you miss your child.
What you were used to is no longer, like, you're not going to have them 100% of the time.
Yeah, like, I don't sleep with her. Like, I was so used to like literally looking over and like her bed's right there.
Her feet in your face.
Yeah, like her, like me falling off the bed because like she's
taking the whole damn thing.
Yeah, like it's moments like that some people don't realize, or honestly some people are like holding on to. And then also the fear of like, not like, wow, truly nothing against my daughter's dad. Like, I never, like, this never like crossed in my head that he ever would, but it's the fear of like what happens when I'm not there. Not like with him, or like,
Yeah.
It's a common
Rebecca
thought. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Who is he around, because like I 100% think that all the time when she's around me. Like, it's so scary, like the minute you don't look at your child, because like sadly that's happened to me before. In an instant. So it's just like that constant like fears in your head.
Yeah.
Because like it can happen, and it does happen. So all those fears like went on in my head, and like that was another thing where I'm just like, I felt so selfish walking away. But at the end of the day, like, you truly just have to do it like for yourself. Like, you can't live in fear, because in fear is what our parents literally have lived off of. Like, I feel like that's why you see so many people separated now, because it's just like, we do live in fear of the what ifs, but a lot of us are realizing like, you can't change any outcome, whether you stay, whether you don't stay, whether, like you're in the same house. Like, it's just like, everybody's situation's so different, and everybody's outcome is always going to be different. Yeah. It's just, so the fear was what had me for a long time, but I'm just like, I can't live in fear. Like, I just have to pray and hope, and like, like do my part, and like voice my concerns. But for sure, like the financial part of it was so hard, because like I was the one that decided to move out of that house, and like I stayed with my mom. I like gathered enough money, and like I moved out like 4 months after, and I'm just like, it's so hard. It's so hard paying rent on your own, and like, like daycare and like all this stuff. But it's like, it's so like doable. Like, there's so many like resources. There's so many like, or like sometimes like I was like shy to like voice out like my current circumstance, but I did post on my Instagram story, like not like to go into like too much detail, but I did post like, hey, I'm actually moving out. I have an Amazon wish list. Like if anybody would like to get anything, and like I like literally cried for a whole day, like out of like happiness, because I had 86 items on my wish list, and 82 were purchased.
Wow.
And it's just like, that's so crazy, because it's just like, no, like people didn't know to the circumstance, or like I didn't voice so much out, but all I had to move into this new house was, or this new apartment, was mine and Ali's clothes. That's all I had. And like somebody gifted me like the sofa. Like I had like so many things, and I'm just like, it goes back to like, you sometimes need to talk about it, because you don't know who's in your corner when you can't open up the room.
Yeah.
Like if you're always with like a closed door, and that's 100% valid. Like being closed off is like 100% valid, especially if you've been hurt. But sometimes we just need to like open it up a little bit, because there's always going to be people in your corner.
Yeah. Yeah. And you hit it in the head when it comes to like even putting it out there in Amazon, on your social media, how embarrassing, how shameful. But you know what? Something in you was like, screw it, man. This is my life. I'm not ashamed. If people want to help, they help, and if they don't, they don't. That's it. You could just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
And God showed up for you in that way and said, "Look, here, boom." And it shows you, which I'm learning too. It's like, let the people around you love you. Like, let the people around you help you. Don't feel like you're alone in this, because you're not. So there's a lot of growth. Now I got to do an Amazon wish list and put it out there. Nah, de por sí están hablando tanta cosa, man. Imagínate.
Yeah.
But God has shown up for me. If I were to share with you how God has shown up, bro, God has shown up. So it's been amazing. Rebecca, well, thank you for coming in and sharing your story, what you're going through. It's not easy. I will have you in my prayer, because I know you're not done, but I know God's not done. And I know that as long as you have the faith to continue pushing, I kind of want to ask you the same question I asked your sister, but I'm not.
Ask.
Are you open to a reconciliation?
No.
No.
There's too much hurt, too many things that went on. A lot of disrespect on both sides. In that relationship, I saw a part of me that I did not want to see. Like, yeah, but I'm glad it did happen. I never regret anything that went on, because I have grown from that person. And it sucks that sometimes you have to go through the worst to,
For real.
get to like a better state. But that's how we learn. Like, that's how we learn what we can accept, what we can't, what is okay with us, like what we want. Because that being my like first like serious relationship, I'm just kind of like, whoa, like I didn't realize like certain relationships are like this, or like people actually go through these things, or like this is a real world. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize like what living with somebody actually does. So no, I wish him the best. I truly like, I will always love him for who he gave me, but I no longer love him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's all fresh, right? So I understand pain, resentment, a lot of things that we go through, which it's valid. It's 100% valid. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place. So I get it. But yeah, anyways, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You don't know, but you spoke a lot to me too. And I know you're speaking a lot to a lot of people. But I just thank you, because I know people will listen. I know people are in a similar place. Fear. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I've been wanting to. I don't know how. I'm afraid. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Like, I cannot afford that. That people in the outside can look at that and be like, that is the dumbest decision. Why to stay in a relationship? Because you don't know where you're going to go. Like, no. But it's like, bro, the truth is, when you're living it, and people that have gone through it understand that that is a question that comes up.
Yeah.
And it can be so easy for people to be like, no, that was one of the dumbest things to say. It's like, no, everyone goes through it. My mom shared with me one of the reasons why it took her a while to eventually file for divorce was because she's like, where am I going to, I'm a stay-at-home mom. What am I going to do for income?
Yeah.
So these fears happen. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open and in a time where you're still going through it, quite frankly. So, yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Guys, I hope you liked the episode. I hope it was a blessing for you guys. If you guys have any questions for me, concerns, comments, let me know. Questions for Rebecca, I'll add her Instagram there so people can also see her. And, you know, if you guys have anything that you guys want to ask her directly, or reach out to me and I can send it over to her. But nevertheless, the reason why this has been built is to develop ourselves, to grow, and to become better. Because once we become better, the relationships around us become better as well. So anyways, guys, thank you guys. God bless you. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.